Martin was such an interesting character because he subverted all of the sort of generally accepted gender rules at the time. You know, he was not a stay-at-home dad, but he was the one who'd spent most of the time cooking and caring for the kids and doing all that stuff that was not something men of the time did. And I think that's really interesting that he sort of had the self-assuredness to just say, this is what I want to do, this is what makes me happy, I want to be with my kids, I want to cook and all that stuff. And it's just a really interesting, great character, because he also happens to be one of the most preeminent tax attorneys in the world. So he kind of does it all. He's like a super dad. Felicity's lovely. She's just such an amazing actress, and she's one of the most dedicated actresses I've ever met. She just takes it so seriously, and she brings so much respect to this, especially to, you know, Justice Ginsburg. She brings a sort of like resolution and sort of strength to the character, which is really nice, but also a gentleness as well. It's great. Kaylee's great. She plays our daughter in this, which is kind of disturbing for me that I've now been cast as a guy who's old enough to have a 19-year-old daughter. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll let that one go. Kaylee's been great, though. You know, she's a phenomenally talented young actress, and it's great to have her here. She gave me a book. She gave me a book of his recipes, of his cooking recipes, and she signed it to me, which was so nice of her. And I had a dinner with the whole cast and Mimi, where I made several of Martin's favorite recipes and had everyone over for dinner. So we had a Marty meal. Before Ruth Bader Ginsburg and after were two very different places in terms of gender equality in America. Not just for women, but, you know, one of her first and biggest gender cases in terms of starting to turn the tide was protecting the rights of men who were caregivers at home who were denied a deduction by the IRS because only women need that, because only women stay at home and are caregivers. So she thought that that was a ridiculous sort of confinement on gender. And, you know, I mean, she was one of the first women to go to law school. You know, she was one of the first women to become a lawyer. In America, I mean, she was really extremely progressive and continues her legacy of that fight, which is great. I would love for people who go to this and see it in theaters to leave with the idea that they can make a change for their children as well in whatever world they live in or whatever sphere they operate in. That was Ruth's big thing. You know, these laws are really a hindrance to our children and their goals and aspirations. So, you know, whatever change you want to see in the world, it just requires you being it.
たった50年前のアメリカの話。女性はカードを作れない、仕事を選べない、家庭に入ることを強制されていた。
So they're going to give you a corner office?
I was told they hired a woman last year, and what in the world would they want with two of us?
平等な社会を作るため、弁護士ルース・ギンズバーグは立ち上がった。
Times have changed.
The ACLU is prepared to put their name on your brief.
Morality does not win the day. Look around you.
Please, if we could just
You
talk.
want to know how I blew it? Sorry, Professor Ginsburg, but the country isn't ready.
ルースが挑んだのは 100% 負けると言われた裁判だった。
Ginsburg, cancer, right? Let's put this idea to bed once and for all.
Read this one.
This is sex-based discrimination against a man. Let's topple the whole damn system of discrimination.
It's not a task for one person, especially if you have a day job.
Mr. Moritz, the law is wrong.
時代を変えた世紀の裁判を描く感動実話。
I know this case disrupted our lives. Who's it for, if not for me?
You're ready for this. You've been ready for this your whole life.
You're asking us to overturn nearly a century of precedent.
We're not asking you to change the country. We're asking you to protect the right of the country to change.
Believe 未来への大逆転。
Or cook dinner for their families.
Exactly. We're counting on you too.